All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. My name is Eric Paulzine with 9 to 5 Sports. Going to be getting into the Monday Night Showdown. We got the Vikings versus the Eagles, the second of the Monday Night Football games. If you guys haven't seen the first video, the Titans versus the Buffalo Bills, I posted that video earlier, so make sure to go out and check that one as well. We got two pretty fun showdown slates, so make sure we're getting our allocation to both of them. But this one should be kind of a fun one. I do think it's a little bit easier compared to the earlier one and compared to like Sunday Night Football. Thursday Night Football is decent as well, but this one should be a little bit easier to predict, so I'm excited for that. But first, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. That helps me be able to help you guys out, so make sure we're doing that. I appreciate that. But let's get into the picks now. Before we get into the video for today, I just want to give a quick thanks to our sponsor, Sports Battle App. Sports Battle App is a daily fantasy sports prop-based app. Go to your Android and iOS to download it today. It's simple, fun, easy to use. If you use the promo code 925, so it's the number 9, TO, and then the number 5, you'll get a bonus of 100% match on a deposit of $50 or more, up to $100. And then also with the referral code, you'll get $5 back as well. So make sure to use that referral code. All right, guys, let's get into the picks for today. So starting off, we are going to start off with the Minnesota Vikings. And first of all, Dalvin Cook is in a perfect spot. If you guys want to be able to captain him, you can. I really like Dalvin Cook because he didn't have a spectacular game last week. At least that's what people are seeing. Like, he was 10 yards away from the 300-yard bonus. He had 5 targets in the game. He played a ton, okay? He played in 77% of the Viking snaps last week. And so basically he had an opportunity in 52% of those snaps as well. That is just spectacular. And now he's going against a defense in the Philadelphia Eagles who just gave up a lot of rushing yards and DK points last week. It's the toughest, or it's the easiest matchup on the slate for opposing running backs. So like Dalvin Cook, everything is there for him to be able to go out and dominate. The problem with last week for him was not like being a good running back or having that efficiency there or having that production there. It was just that the Vikings scored on longer plays. They scored on with Justin Jefferson. Like, game flow kind of detected what Dalvin Cook could be able to do. And now this week, in a much better matchup, it may be a matchup that might be a little bit closer. Dalvin Cook should have a better opportunity to score a touchdown. So Dalvin Cook to me would be like the number 1 pay-up play. And that is not to discount Justin Jefferson at all. Like, if we can afford to pay for Justin Jefferson, we certainly should be doing that. Okay, he took on the Green Bay Packers, who, yes, it was the Green Bay Bears, or sorry, it was the Chicago Bears last night, but they shut them down. The Green Bay Packers shut down the Chicago Bears. And I know they don't really have anything, but I do think Darnell Mooney is a very good NFL receiver, and they shut him down. Justin Jefferson was able to feast against them. Okay, I think that is a very good defense, and he was able to dominate against them. 9 receptions, 11 targets, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, he was dominant. Okay, is he going to do that again? Heck no. Okay, 42 DK points is just not going to happen again. But could he get 20 DK points in this one? He could. Could he get like 18 DK points in this one? Sure. I do think he's going to be in the winning GPP lineup today. So yeah, I just think you have to play Justin Jefferson on this slate. Yes, it is a lot to pay for him, and that's the biggest and most difficult part about playing him. We're going to have to try to find value if we are going to play Justin Jefferson, especially if we are playing Dalvin Cook. And maybe this is a slate in which we can't play either of them in the captain spot because we want to fit both of them into our build. So that will be something that I think we need to come back to. So from there, we got Kirk Cousins. If I'm playing Dalvin Cook and if I'm playing Justin Jefferson, I might want to think about playing Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, we know the primetime stuff, okay? I don't think that's going to be a big factor, but if you believe in that, like Kirk Cousins in primetime doesn't do it, doesn't cut it, then just don't play him, okay? Then you might be worried about Justin Jefferson or Adam Thielen then, okay? If you are worried about that, don't play him. Then you'd want to play like Alexander Mattison as well as Dalvin Cook. But Kirk Cousins has been playing well really for the past like calendar year. Continued to play well last week. I mean, he was a big part of the reason why they were able to win. Sure, Justin Jefferson was wide open, but Kirk Cousins didn't miss him. Okay, he was able to complete those passes. 2 touchdowns last week, 277 yards. Like, he didn't need to throw for more, but I don't know if we have to play Kirk Cousins on this slate. Like, I think there's a great chance for Dalvin Cook to dominate and Justin Jefferson to dominate. The only way Kirk Cousins would be able to like really dominate on the slate while Dalvin Cook is doing well is if he throws a passing touchdown to Dalvin Cook. Like, I just don't see both of them dominating in a like lineup in which we have Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. Like that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't go hand in hand. From there, if you want to play Adam Thielen, I do think there's a chance that he has a much better game. I mean, he only had 4 targets, but he was able to convert that into 6.6 DK points. Like he still looked good, looked like his same self. The biggest problem was that Justin Jefferson was wide open last week. It wasn't a Adam Thielen thing or Kirk Cousins thing. It was just Justin Jefferson was wide open. So you were throwing the ball to him. And Dalvin Cook was getting it down on the ground. So you just ran it with him. Adam Thielen at this price point could easily do well. I don't mind that. You could play him if you want to. Another play that I don't hate, like KJ Osborne as price point's fine. Like they do like him there, but I don't mind Alexander Madison. The biggest issue with Madison is that he only played in 14 snaps, okay? But he did get a touch in 8 of those snaps. Okay, he had 8 rushing attempts for 36 yards. That was good. That was impressive. Like they are going to have to spell Dalvin Cook a little bit, and maybe Alexander Madison is able to get a target and a catch in this one. Instead, 4.2 is a little bit too much to pay up for 14 snaps. Okay, that's a little bit too much, but given the matchup, given the weakness in the Eagles being in the running backs or in the rushing category, maybe Alexander Madison has himself a good game. But for now, I'm really just Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook from the Vikings, and then we're going to move on. Getting into the Eagles side of the ball, I do think we want to pay up for Jalen Hurts. Okay, the Vikings defense, although it did look good, don't get me wrong, it did look good, it should have given up 2 more touchdowns. You know, the Packers really just looked sloppy in the red zone last week. They should have scored a touchdown there. And then obviously the Christian Watson touchdown, that should have been there as well. You know, first play for him, just dropped it, whatever. Like the defense did play well, but they could have given up much more points. So like this number 1 against quarterbacks, I don't think that's really accurate. You know, I don't think that's really true. So like Jalen Hurts, a scrambling quarterback, he had 17 rushing attempts last week, guys. Okay. That's a lot. That is a lot. Still passed the ball 32 times as well. That is a lot of touches. 49 touches total. 49 attempts total for a quarterback. That is insane. Okay, so I do think we want to be able to afford to pay up for him because I think he does have a nice, safe rushing floor. Maybe he gets around 16 DK points if this Vikings defense is for real. And that's the question we're going to need answered tonight. But I do think he's still going to be able to hit value. From there, do you want to play A.J. Brown? That is the question. I'm just going to go through the snap counts for all of these players real quick. So A.J. Brown played in 87% of the snaps, had a opportunity per snap in 19% of those. Pretty decent there. Miles Sanders played in 52% of the offensive snaps, had an opportunity in 38% of those snaps. Had a great game. Dallas Goedert played in 92% of the snaps, but only saw an opportunity in 5% of those. So a very low number for him. Still, 9 DK points with only 4 targets. You know, that's a number that could go up. That's a number that should go up. That's a number that I would want to chase because we know Dallas Goedert is a good player. That number should be able to go up. And, you know, 10 DK points or so, can he get that? Sure. That should be achievable, but maybe he scores a touchdown and maybe helps you take down a GPP. We'll see. Devontae Smith is the very interesting one here. Okay, guys, he played in 96% of the Eagles snaps last week. 96, and saw a target in 4 of them. So he only had 5% opportunities per snap. That is terrible. And I know A.J. Brown was getting open early and often, okay, and he had 13 targets in that one, but like, that should correct a little bit. Okay, that should definitely correct a little bit. You look at, I guess, using Miami as a perfect example, Tyreek Hill had a lot of targets. Okay, we knew that was going to somewhat correct into a balancing act with Jalen Waddle getting a little bit more. Like, we just assumed that would happen. I do expect that to happen with Devonta Smith. Now, I don't think he's like a great NFL receiver. He's good, though. He's solid. You know, he's a solid NFL receiver. He can be productive. And again, 96% of the snaps, like if he gets 6 more targets, like that should help him out a lot, okay? And so I don't mind Devonta Smith at that price point. I think he is one of the best values on the slate, if not the best values on the slate. There's a chance you could play him in the captain spot, just given that snap share. And if he scores a touchdown, a long touchdown, you know, you're making bank. Like it just helps you out a lot there. From there, just looking at the Eagles as well, Kenneth Gainwell played in 30% of the snaps. Boston Scott played in 22% of the snaps, and they all pretty much saw around like 35 opportunities per snap. So like all of them are firmly in play. All the running backs for the Eagles are firmly in play. If you just want to play Miles Sanders because he's like the lead running back, you can. I will say, Quez Watkins playing in 53% of the snaps, did not see a single target. If there's one player that can like make a big play for the Eagles, it would be Quez Watkins. He is their big play receiver. If they're going to take a deep shot, it would be Quez Watkins that could make it happen. Like he could get 1 catch, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Okay, that would not be shocking. And on this slate in which we are just trying to find good value to play, maybe you go Quez Watkins in the captain spot, and then you're able to afford Smith, then you're able to afford possibly another value as well. After that, I don't really like much. Okay. Like Zach Pascal played a little bit. You could go Boston Scott, hope to get lucky there. Like after that for the Eagles, there's not much there. And same thing for the Vikings. And that is the tough part about this slate, is that we're most likely going to have to play one of the kickers to try to get some value. Okay. And I hate doing that. I don't love to play kickers. Okay. It's just not something fun, but I do think that's kind of where this slate is leading us to. Maybe you go Madison there. You could go Irv Smith, who probably should see more snaps. He only played in like 36% of the snaps last week. I think that number is going to continue to go up as the season goes on. But, we're trying to find plays here as opposed to the plays coming to us naturally. And that's the tough part about this slate. So maybe we just go with one of the kickers, and figure it out from there. If you want to go Alexander Madison, you can instead. It is kind of that slate. I don't want to play Quez Watkins in the captain spot, but I do want to fit all the studs. And that's the problem that we have on this slate, okay? And it's tough. You're definitely going to have to fade a stud on this slate. And that's the very difficult part here. So let me try to put together at least a solid build. Gosh, maybe we even do this. Greg Joseph and then Quez Watkins down there, or Boston Scott. Like that's okay. Munn's snaps should go down once Irv Smith's snaps go up, but maybe you just play him while his snap share is higher at this price point. Like you could if you want to. Like I'm okay with this build. I don't love it. Okay. There's not a direct line of path, okay? And that's the problem with this slate. And that could be the good thing. It's like when there's not a direct, good line of path to follow, that means it's hard in GPPs. And that means it's going to be hard to make a great build. And with that should mean it's easier if that build hits, for that build to really hit, because, the line of path is not as obvious. But that is all I have for you guys for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like, subscribe. I do appreciate that. That helps out the channel a lot. If you guys want to join 9 to 5 Nation and use like the NFL DraftKings lineup optimizer, that's available, $10 a month. It's mostly like a golf membership, but we have the cheat sheet available and the lineup optimizer available for those that want it. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Let's have a good slate. And as always, guys, let's keep cashing.